Everybody, thanks for coming to the Montana Eastern Washington postgame press conference. With us, Samuel Kim, Coach Hauk, Robbie Hauk, and Marcus Wellnell. Again, please raise your hand. I'll pass the microphone around for questions so people at home can hear. Coach, we'll start with your initial thoughts after a big win for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it was a good. Obviously, it was a dominating win. Wasn't close. It was fun to go out and get it. We didn't play very well on defense in the first quarter. The first quarter in 2 minutes, and then it was back to business as usual for our defense. Thought it was a great team effort, offense, defense, kicking, just terrific, And anytime if you're going to try to throw the ball 80 times and we're going to rush for 200, you're never going to beat us. You're never, ever going to have a chance to beat us in that particular game. So our kids went out and took that win. I was proud of them. They kind of got called out, and it wasn't close.
Coach, how are you guys able to stay at such a high intensity level throughout the game?
I think it's how we train in the off season, how we practice. That's what it is. We do it every day.
I asked you after the last win you guys had, how'd you seize and then carry the momentum? You guys did that again tonight. So how important was that element of the game?
Well, games go back and forth, and like I said, they got off to a good start. We busted a couple coverages, bad by us, giving up a couple of scores like that. But after that, they struggled, and they're a good offense, and they're well coached, and they've got a good team, and our guys just righted the ship. And then it was after halftime, it was fun to watch.
Robbie, speaking of that busted coverage, it seemed like you and Coach had a little moment there where he was getting you guys kind of locked in, but then Gavin had the huge hit, you had the big hit. So, what sparked you in that, and how just setting the tone in that situation, how important was that?
Yeah, we kind of tried to screw it up in the first quarter, and that was on us, not necessarily what they were giving us. And then it's why you play 4 quarters, face some adversity, and fought back, and were able to regain momentum and take control of the game. So, and that's credit to everybody on defense, but also on offense and special teams.
Bobby, can you talk a little bit about, Barrier was able to take him down and close to 30-28, and it's been a long time of watching your quarterbacks hit that drag underneath. I thought maybe you could talk about the job Cam did, marshaling the offense and getting an answering score there.
Yeah, they had a critical roughing the punter penalty on our base defense, and roughing the passer that aided them in that drive, and it helped them get down there. So we shouldn't have gotten those penalties. That's our fault. But then, there was no lack of confidence by anyone. I thought our offense played with a lot of very tough mindset in this game tonight, and it was great to go and, like you just said, Fritz, make that happen.
Marcus, I had a question about the sack in the third quarter. It seemed like defense fed, special teams fed the offense. Can you just talk about finally? Barrier was a tough guy to get down, but then you got him for, I think, 15 yards there. Can you take me through that?
It was just good coverage. Everyone else had good pressure, and I just tackled him. It was a cool moment. I really feel like the momentum starting to really start swinging our way, and it was cool.
Both of you guys, I think it was 21-10. Gavin gets the big hit there, and then they obviously review it, and it was clean. But it seemed like that kind of got a little spark under you guys. Just is that kind of how it was from your guys' perspective?
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's kind of how we like to play and how we want to play on defense. So when we're able to do that and make good physical plays, it kind of sparks everybody on our side of the ball, and
kind of goose up the momentum when they stop the game for 5 minutes every time there's a good hit.
Yeah, that too.
I swear.
We can't comment on, but
well, yeah, we can. That we can. We didn't say it was a bad call. It was just it kind of goofs up the momentum.
It was good though. That's what we like to do, and I definitely think that it's not very fun to go against that offensively. So, if you've got anything to.
No, I was just gonna say I feel like got the crowd really involved too, so that was pretty cool.
Bobby, you guys had several big returns on kickoffs and punts. What were you seeing that was just consistently working well for you guys?
We just kind of did our thing, Frank. We've been doing it all year. We've won the kicking game in a big way in all games but one this year, and that continued tonight. It was a dominant effort in the special teams. We controlled field position in a big way. That's why the yards are so skewed. We had a lot of short fields. A lot of that. That was our defense and our special teams. Our yards per play were superior in the game. That's what you got to focus on. Yeah, our special teams guys are good. They do a nice job.
And Junior Bergen, I think 4 big punt returns, but he had that miscue on the first one. And so why did you go back to him, and what did you think of the way how he bounced back from that?
Well, he had it was 3 returns, but went back to him because we got nobody else. So glad we did. He did a nice job. He's good at it.
And Sammy, the passing offense, Cam sort of took off in the third quarter there and into the fourth quarter. What did you see was working well for you guys there?
Just execution. We know what we are capable of doing if we execute and just stay true to what we practice every day. So that's what it was.
Sammy, playing the playoffs for the first time for you, what did you think of the atmosphere and what was it like for you?
Man, it was awesome. It was awesome. I can't even put words to it. It was just awesome.
I forgot you were hurt the last time around.
Take us through the touchdown. What'd you see and what was it like scoring? And tying Mark Mariani's career record as well.
It was awesome. I'm just kind of speechless right now because it's just, like I tell you guys all the time, like I had no idea that I was going to do things like this when I came to Montana. I just came to play football, and it's awesome to look up and see my name next to somebody so great.
Coach, you praised the kick teams all year long, and they've been so outstanding. But what goes into that? What are all the key factors for how well you guys have played on all the special teams?
Well, I think good players first. That's like anything. Second thing is attention to detail. They detail their work. They understand what we're trying to do. And then within the team, it's important, and they make it important to them. So those 3 things combine to great effort and what's turned out to be great production.
Bobby, do you feel like Eastern did anything differently on either side of the ball from the first game that was kind of drastic or stood out to you?
No, nothing drastic. They did what they did. I think they would have liked to have run it a little better and more successfully, but when they couldn't, that was the as you start getting away, the die kind of gets cast a little bit, and they have no control of the game when they have to do it that way. Nor would we if we were in that situation.
And just to follow up on that, can you think, have you ever coached in a game where the opposing quarterback has had 80 pass attempts like that and have just been so reliant on one side of things?
Well, I don't think so. That's a lot of throws, and a lot of them were in the fourth quarter when we were up 3 scores, and we're just kind of playing quarters coverage and keep it in front of us, and the clock's bleeding down, and there's not enough game left. So, no, but I don't know. 81's a lot.
Bobby, just you had a long conversation with Eric after the game, and obviously he's had a pretty historic career. Just what's it been like coaching and playing against a guy like him, and just seems like a lot of mutual respect kind of at the end of the game there.
Yeah, he's a good kid and a good player. I had a chance to meet him last summer as well, and he beat us in October. A lot of it was due to some really good plays by him, maybe more than anything else, and we had to make sure he couldn't do it. So we've seen him 3 times, and he's a high caliber player. He's a playmaker, and it was good to make enough tonight to get the W.
And just kind of right before halftime, it's a 1-point game, and a little bit of tensions kind of going into the locker room. But did you guys have to kind of settle guys down, or what was kind of the conversation there after after heading into the locker room?
Yeah, they looked like they were going to try to follow us up to our locker room. I don't know what they were doing, but that would have been all right with us too. So no, we didn't settle anybody down at halftime.
And Marcus, just to touch on something you talked about earlier, just after those big hits and kind of during the reviews, you guys all were just really getting the crowd into it. I mean, how key was that, just especially on that drive, and getting the crowd really riled up when it was really dead, play wise?
Oh, it's awesome getting the crowd involved. They're crazy here, and I love it. I wish we could play every game here. But after Gav got that hit, Robbie got that hit, and then just sitting there, just pumping up the crowd, it was a special moment. Just really, I feel like even though they kind of maybe had some momentum at that game, I don't remember what the score was at that point, but I feel like it definitely started switching towards us.
Then Sammy, your second touchdown, you guys take the shot there to, kind of go for the kill there, and that, what was that play call there, and, just kind of getting one-on-one coverage right there?
It was just us executing. I mean, there's no specific play call. We were just running our offense, and Cam put it out there, and I went and made the play.
Kyle, I'd go back to your question. That's called poking the bear. It's a bad idea.
Coach, and maybe for Robbie and Marcus too, I've never seen a season like Justin Ford is having. He had another one today, and it's not just the big plays, but he's doing it in the big moments too. I mean, he had the fumble return against Montana State, and then this one today was sort of the last nail in the coffin. I mean, what's it like to watch a guy having a season like that and coming up in those big spots time and time again?
Go ahead.
You answer it?
Yeah, you answer it. All I'm going to say is what I always say. The ball's bouncing to him. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's
well,
incredible.
There's times where he does have some good luck, which or he's got some secret or something like that. I wish he'd share with all of us, but no, he's a heck of a player. He's a great teammate. I'm really happy he's here. And as I was always saying, I guarantee Marcus would agree, and everybody else on our defense, it's just as fun watching your teammates make plays as making one yourself, if not better, especially in critical situations. So he's been great to have on our defense, and I'm excited to see what he does in these upcoming weeks and the rest of his career.
Coach, did you want to talk more about the officiating? It seemed
No,
like
I
you
don't.
wanted to.
No, I don't. I'm not allowed. It's a trap.
Does anybody?
No, none of these guys do.
Play next week.
Yeah, we're all trying to be a part of it next week.
All right, that's it.
Sammy's just like, oh my god.
Robbie, speaking of poking the bear, I'm sure you guys heard all the stuff that they said throughout the week. So, how did that influence your guys' mindset in this game?
Well, I don't know, honestly. I think our mindset's pretty much the same week to week. We really don't like anybody they put in front of us, regardless if they talk crap or not. I think a lot of that's just outside noise, and frankly, I think a lot of it's just for people on the outside of our program, not necessarily us, because when it all comes down to they got to come up and line up against us. So we just play how we play, and I guess it's just kind of icing on the cake in a sense. But I mean, I don't think it really matters. So.
And Bobby, one last special teams question.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Ryan Tyrrell's blocked punt? That's a pretty big momentum swing.
That
for
was
you guys.
good. They Eastern changed their punt protection, and when they put in a new protection this week, so we went after it, and obviously thumped it, and then they went back to their one they've been doing their protection they've been doing all season. So I thought our guys adjusted. They gave us a different look on the first one, and we safed it out, and then we told them to leave it on the next time because we're going to protect against the fake if they give us something we can't handle. And the next one they got it adjusted out, the new formation, and that's a big play in the game.
We'll go a couple more.
Bobby, just with Sammy tying Mark Mariani today, obviously the career he's had, you saw him kind of blow up when you first got here. Like you just mentioned, was injured, didn't get to play in the playoff game a couple years ago. To see him kind of achieve that tonight, you've coached the top two guys at that mark. Just what does that mean to you to see him achieve that?
Yeah, it's a real pleasure, first of all, to be able to coach both of those guys, both quality dudes and guys that I've enjoyed. Mark's still around whenever he gets a chance. I hope Sammy's the same. Once we kiss him goodbye, I hope he comes back whenever he gets a chance, just like Mark does. And, it's fun to see those records fall. That's why they're there.
One more.
Just to follow up on that with Sammy and Mark Mariani, what sort of similarities as players have you seen out of both of them?
They're completely different from one another. Totally different. They couldn't be more different. Well, one's small and quick, and one's a big outside receiver.
Anybody else? Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, guys. Fight on, baby.